This was the game that was supposed to save Star Wars games. And at the end of the day, I think it kinda did it, but well, not entirely. And weirdly enough, not because it was any type of bad. In this video, we're going to be reviewing Star Wars Squadrons and whether it is worth it to buy right now, few years after its release, and we're going to be discussing whether this game is actually alive or not. So, without further ado, let's just get it started. And as always, as with every single one of our videos, I'm going to be giving you the answer right away to not waste your time and just give you the time to play or do whatever that you want. And the answer is this: Star Wars Squadrons is an amazing game and it is absolutely worth to play. But whether it is worth to buy, that is another question. And in my opinion, this game is not worth buying anymore because the game is not being supported and the multiplayer base of the game is, well, not entirely dead, but not as vibrant to keep entertained, at least majority of the players. So does this mean that this game is not worth playing? No, this game is absolutely worth playing if you have it. But paying actual money for this, well, I wouldn't. But let's get into the details. And if you enjoy videos like that, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. It helps me a lot and warms my heart immensely. So yeah, anyways, thank you for being here and let's get to the Star Wars Squadrons, I guess. So for the ones who doesn't know, what even is the Star Wars Squadrons? Star Wars Squadrons is a single player and multiplayer dogfighting game in the Star Wars universe. It could not be a simple explanation as that, because it is exactly what it is. Gameplay has the single player story, which lasts around from 8 to 12 hours depending on the difficulty that you choose, and it also has a multiplayer mode, which is in essence the same thing that you will be doing in a single player, but with other players instead of just bots. Timeline-wise, mostly game is happening after the Battle of Andor in Star Wars Episode 6 and covers the story of the confrontation between the New Republic and the newly dissolved Empire, which are still alive and kicking because, yeah, the death of the Emperor just did not destroy the entire empire that fast. And in a story campaign, you play for both. And in a different mission, you'll be playing for either an empire or for the New Republic. In the beginning of the game, you are actually creating two characters for each factions with a very rudimentary character creator, but yeah, it's there. You will be creating your own character. Not that it has any thing to do with the game itself and not that it will change anything, but yeah, you can do that. And as you progress through the campaign, you're actually introduced to different mechanics of the game, gradually making it more and more like a multiplayer in the end. Each side has different classes of the starships and you will be able to choose different loadouts for your starships. And that's where game actually shines for me, because despite it being pretty complicated for a lot of people, for me, this complicated mechanics made it very, very much the perfect amount of gameplay that I actually wanted from this game. So this is a basic dogfighting game. You are in a starship and you are flying around in a first-person view only. And what is the main thing that is happening is you're choosing a target, you're chasing a target, shooting it a little bit, then this target zips around, you need to rotate your ship, target it again, destroy the ship, evade some fire from other starships or from the Star Destroyers or from anything, and then do it all over again. It's the same in every single dogfighting game. But here there are a few interesting mechanics that you will be utilizing if you want to maximize your results. And the most important one is of course controlling your ship's systems. You see your ship has 3 different systems but only one power source, and you need to divert the power to different systems to utilize it to their maximum. The ship has 3 systems, which are engines, your weapons and your shields. And boosting any one of them will boost, well, the capabilities of that system, but diminish the capabilities of other systems. For example, if you will boost your engines, you will be able to fly faster and be more maneuverable, but your weapons will deal less damage and your shields will be weaker. In other cases, if you boost your weapons, your weapon will deal significantly more damage, will far less overheat, but your ship will be slower and your shields will still be low. And if you boost your shields, well, you got the point. And the ships also have a shield control systems, and you will be able to switch between your regular shieldings or the shieldings in front of your ship or in the back of the ship. And you will be using this in different scenarios. For example, if you're going to attack a Star Destroyer head on, you really want your front shields to taking the majority of the damage and be really sturdy. So you're going to choose your front shields. And if you're running away from someone and someone is chasing you, you really don't need the front shields, but you really need your back shields. So you will boost there. And if you're in the middle of the battle with the lasers shooting from everywhere, your general shielding will be, well, the best option. And maneuvering your thrusters, you're flying between your enemies, choosing between different targets, and juggling between your ship systems makes this game incredibly fun and very tense game, no matter what you're doing there. And even the smallest dogfights are incredibly tense and fun because of that. And as you play through the game, as you play through the story, which has pretty interesting and pretty varied missions, you are actually utilizing all of those systems, which makes this game insanely fun. And all of this is amplified in a multiplayer because now you're fighting against far smarter enemies than just simple bots. And it becomes far more essential to control your systems and your shields and your weapons as well. Also, it's important to control your ammo because, yeah, you don't have an infinite ammo, at least not for everything. You also need to control your ship's health and repair it as soon as you're gonna have an opportunity. And if you're fighting with the support ships, your goal is actually support your teammates and suppress the enemy teammates, not just combat them head on. All of those things make the game incredibly fun and incredibly interesting. And despite there not being a lot of other things, those things make this game incredibly interesting experience just to sit down during evening, enjoy some gameplay, and just live very satisfied. Also, another very important thing is that despite this game being from EA, this game does not have any microtransactions. So no battle passes, no season passes, no DLCs, no nothing. This game comes as is, and you're gonna enjoy every single thing with just one-time fee. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and we're gonna discuss this after we're gonna discuss the pricing of the game. So how much this game will cost you. So game is available on Steam and on a bunch of other platforms as well, but on Steam the game's base price is $39.99 for tier 1 countries and for tier 2 countries, and it can go as low as $7.99 for both tier 1 and tier 2 countries. Game is also available on a Game Pass if you have access to EA Play. So why did I say that you should not buy this game? Well, because of two very important reasons. First, game is not supported anymore. After 2021, EA officially is not supporting this game, so you're not gonna get any updates and you are not gonna get any new content or even patches or things like that. Yes, the game plays pretty nicely and I didn't encounter any game-breaking bugs or any single issues with the game, but yep, if you will encounter it, well, you will have to live with it because, yeah, it will not get any updates. And the second, which is far more important, is the active player base. Despite the game starting with 35,000 active players daily, right now the game is, I would not say dead, but it's, well, pretty close to dead. On Steam, game sees somewhere between 30 to 200 players, and yes, on other platforms it will also increase in number because you're gonna have more players playing through Xbox launcher or through Epic Games, but yeah, the numbers are probably not going to be much more than that. And you're gonna see more or less good matchmaking if you're playing on a multiplayer, only if you're playing during peak hours, which might not work for you depending on where you live. And it's a huge shame that this is happening with this game. Yes, again, game is not dead. It is not dead. There are still quite a lot of players playing it, but probably you are not going to find a lot of players with the same skill level as you are. You are either gonna find someone who are way too overpowered or someone who is way too underpowered, which is not a good experience. So as a verdict, should you buy this game? No. Don't buy this game. Paying money for this game is not worth it unless you are a huge fan of Star Wars and want to play and enjoy the single player, which is pretty good. And I would say single player alone would be worth for $8. It's pretty good single player because you're gonna get around 10 hours of the gameplay and you're gonna enjoy it. Even though the story is nothing amazing, it's still pretty good and pretty fun. And I would highly suggest to get this game if you have access to EA Play or the Game Pass, and especially if you're gonna get this game for free on an Epic Games. But by the way, game will be available for free on Epic Games from the moment the video is up, and for 1 week. So if you are watching this video during that time, yes, you can get this from an Epic Games. You can get this game from Epic Games for absolutely free, and this is a must get for free. So it's a shame the game is not in a better place compared to what it is, but hopefully with the free promotions, the interest in the game will be reignited and will be kept there for at least some time for a lot of players to enjoy. Well, this will be it for today. Thank you for being here with me. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.